Welcome in, folks. Welcome in. Come on in. Candace Owens is back from her vacation or eluding assassination, whatever she called it. I don't know what she called it anymore. She just took a weekend off, about 10 days. She took a nice hiatus and went to Dollywood, I think is where she went to, because that's really safe. Anyway, TPUSA finally responded to all of her, I guess you'd call them demands for answers or something like that. And then she today responded to that particular video. Now, we're going to start with her reply to their video. And if she leaves anything out, then we'll go to their video to see if there was anything left out. So yeah, let's dive in to what happened with this lady right here. Came back looking fresh, you know. Like she had a whole bag of Mentos, and she's the fresh maker. Let's find out what Candace has to say, y'all. She seems really happy, stoked with herself. Let's find out.
All right, you guys, it's happening. It's happening. Everybody stay calm. After yesterday's episode where we went kind of for the jugular with Turning Point USA, because really, I think everybody in the entire world has had enough with the non-response, trying to move on, trying to gaslight us, not answering basic details. So we just went for it.
I've always had a problem with the way she tries to suggest things. Like, okay, first of all, you went for the jugular. Look, I'm not the one that said it. Candace is the one that said it. Don't get mad at me for spitting in how Charlie died. That wasn't me. That was your girl, his best friend. I would have thought of a different analogy. Look, if I were the sensitive kind of person that y'all think Candace is, right? That's what y'all say. She's the most sensitive. She cares about her. If that's the case, would that be the one you pick? That'd be it. You're going for the jugular. And everyone in the world? Really? Everybody? I'm gonna go on a limb and say probably you and 5 million people. Maybe 8. Maybe 8. That's not the whole world, Candace. I think you overvalue your point of view. I think you might overvalue your point of view just a hair. And then I didn't see TPUSA gaslighting anybody either. Like, if they can't be gaslighting if they don't answer. You said, so did they respond? To gaslight you would mean they have to keep telling you something that, which is it? Are they not answering or are they answering and gaslighting? I'm sure you're going to tell me. But please refrain, Candace, if you don't mind, from mentioning jugular as a, I don't know, reference, considering how your friend left this earth. You know what I'm saying? Okay, continue.
And guess what? Turning Point has moved to formally respond to all the things that we have said. And after a very long diatribe in which they wildly misrepresent the public and global investigation.
I thought there wasn't an investigation going on, Candace. Public and global investigation into Candace. But you keep saying everybody's moved on. I just want the struggle to be picked here. If everybody's moved on, it can't be global, or you're just saying it's only TPUSA moving forward and everybody else still hasn't. The globe? Damn. I didn't know that. You learn something new every day.
Of Charlie Kirk's assassination, they at long last issued a public invitation or a challenge. I'm not sure what it is, but I accept. Okay. Quite literally, all we have ever asked for.
Before she continues, make sure you listen and answer her question as to whether or not you feel this is all she's ever asked for. Asked for. Now, usually when someone uses the word ask, it's a request, like question mark following. Have you heard her make statements or just ask? Anyway, continue.
For sensible answers to our basic questions about what transpired on September 10th. And it looks like we're going to get those things. So major win. I am excited. Also, later on in the show, what I have for you is The Game, whose rapper is releasing a song that is entitled The Assassination of Candace Owens. And I have more questions. I've got questions. Am I allowed to have questions? Welcome back to Candace.
I figured it out. I figured it out. I think I have finally cracked the code. She doesn't know what a question is. That has to be it. That's the only look. The only way I can figure this out is that she doesn't understand what a question is. What I've heard her do is accuse and say things are fact, and then she'll follow that statement of it's a fact to I'm just asking questions, which tells me that you think stating something, calling it a fact, is a question. That's not a question. You said that they're not investigating it as a fact, but now you're saying that people have been, but it's the Globe, not the police. The same police you want to look into stuff, but you say are corrupted. At some point, I think she has to make a decision as to whether or not she wants answers or attention. She says she wants common sense answers, which means she wants answers that she will take as her answers, not what they give her. You see how she's setting that up already? Just FYI, if she does show up and she doesn't come up with, I got to babysit my kids or I got to take the kids to the hospital or some nonsense like that. She's setting stuff up to not to have to answer anything, which is brilliant on her part. Really brilliant. Let's continue. We don't need to see the intro and all that. Let's go back to that. There we go.
What can I say other than we went max? Pause, reflect. I'm proud of everybody. I'm proud of the world. Every single person who was in my inbox giving me tips, the people inside of Turning Point USA who were leaking, the donors that wrote public letters, the donors that didn't write public letters but sent us messages encouraging.
Whoa. Yeah, back it up. Back it up. We catch stuff others don't catch. Let's back that up real quick. Make sure I catch that right.
Then we went max. Pause, reflect. I'm proud of everybody. I'm proud of the world. Every single person who was in my inbox giving me tips, the people inside of Turning Point USA who were leaking, the donors that wrote public letters, the donors that didn't write public letters but sent us messages encouraging us to keep going. Today feels like a win.
So you were in touch with donors? I knew I heard the name, but I wasn't sure. Donors were giving you information, Candace? Donors. I thought they were the bad guys. just a thought. I thought donors were the bad guys. I mean, they were. Correct me if I'm wrong. Oh, maybe they were the good donors. They were the ones that wanted Charlie to. No, wait. Okay, I'm trying to figure this out. Was it your donors or Turning Point USA's donors that were paying Charlie to say what he had to? Which donors are you talking about? Donors. So donors were influencing Candace now, huh? I mean, that's what she said. I didn't say it. She said donors are writing her letters in support. Can you show those letters? Can you show those letters for me? Can you show us those letters? I mean, they can't be that private. They're supporting you. So just show us the letters. And who are these donors? Who are the donors? Do you mind telling us who the donors are? Who are those donors, Candace? I just have questions. I'm just asking questions. I'm just asking questions. You can ask questions. I'm asking questions too. Come on. Who are the donors? Give some names.
Because guess what? It forced Turning Point USA to finally respond. And that was the entire point. Okay. That has been the point of refusing to let up even 1 second in this investigation. They wanted to simply be able to eulogize Charlie Kirk at a big memorial event. And then they wanted us to simply move on. And we didn't.
Is that what they did? Or hear me out. They had a method by which they were going to honor Charlie, and it didn't mesh with your version of honoring Charlie. And so in your mind, they moved on. You see, what you wanted to do was not what they wanted to do. And as long as they're doing something different from what you're wanting to do, then it's not it's bad. That's when it's bad. It has to comport with what you want to do as a memorial. Gotcha. All right.
Didn't do that. Okay. So yeah, we should celebrate the fact that we kept up the pressure, that we insisted that we have answers, that even in this tremendous culture of ADHD and everyone's constantly being distracted by their iPhones, that we kept the focus. Okay. Turning Point is going to commit to a live streamed event where they are apparently going to answer all of these lingering questions. And I would say these were pretty basic questions.
So how is it? Wait. Okay. Again, I'm so lost right now. Didn't you want them to answer the questions at the very beginning? That's what you said, right? Okay. So say you got what you wanted. They're going to answer the questions. Now how they're doing it is a problem? Look, I'm going to say this right now. No matter what answers they give, she will not be happy with. I'm telling you right now, they are going to give her answers and she will not care that they give answers. She's going to drive up. That's not what we believe. That's not what we said. And she's going to go into all of that, even though the answer to her question is what they decide the answer is, not what she wants. It's not going to be enough. We told you before, she set this up. She set this up so bad for everybody because she can say fact and non-fact in the same sentence and she can win. Here's how she can win. Well, I didn't say it because I said I was asking questions, but at the same time, I said it was fact, but I didn't say it was fact. But the video's still out there with her saying point blank, fact, without a doubt, indisputable, all words that reference fact. Now we're going to listen to see exactly what she said, they said, and we'll go forward. Shall we? Let's go.
Right out of the gate. Why they didn't do that right out of the gate, nobody knows. We can hear them, their explanation for why they didn't in just a moment, because they sent Blake Neff out. Blake Neff, by the way, is the producer of the Charlie Kirk show. Now he is kind of the rotating talent of the Charlie Kirk show. He was already featured with Charlie on the show, so that's not unusual. But I think we probably anticipated that Andrew Colvett, who is the TPUSA spokesperson, would have been the person to deliver this message.
So now so let me get this right. You got a problem with when, you got a problem with that, and now you have a problem with who? I would have thought they'd send somebody much bigger out to address me. You know who I am. I'm Candace Owens, for crying out loud. You send out some subordinate Blake Neff. Who is Blake Neff? Just because he's been there. He's in the background. Send me out someone bigger. Make this fanfare. You know who I am. I'm Candace Owens. I deserve your best. Look, I'm telling you now, no one's going to win with this. No one's going to win. Nobody will win this. Look, they could have put Erica to make that statement, and she would have probably had a much bigger problem if Erica did it. Why is Erica making that statement? Why did they put Erica out front there? Are they trying to hide something? That's what she would have said. Now Blake is too small to be put in front of the camera. What's he doing out there? That's a problem too. Let's see how many problems she's got.
Maybe in theory, that should have been his job. Maybe he's traveling. The point is, we got Blake Neff, and I want to say, just to reiterate, that I have always maintained that whatever is going on at Turning Point USA, I have not felt that Blake Neff is one of the bad guys. Okay. I just
You never felt that? So wait, I want to make sure. Remember, this is her words, not ours. Blake Neff is not one of the bad guys. All right. If Blake Neff is not one of the bad guys, her words, not mine. Let's see if she has a problem with Blake Neff delivering what she might call a lie. Okay, let's see.
Never gotten that particular vibe from him. I believe that when he speaks, he believes that he is telling the truth. And maybe that's why they want him in front of the camera. He's been the only person that has been responding in a way that feels even remotely authentic.
So he's a dummy? I'm going to back that up. I'm going to back that up because I have a feeling you calling the man stupid. That was one of the most underhanded, smooth the insults I've heard in a while. He's a nice kid, but he thinks that he's telling the truth. I think he feels that way. I think he feels he's being honest. The hell? But he's a nice guy. So you're telling me he's so slow or too nice to see a lie? I want to make sure I hear this again.
When he defends the act,
let me see here.
Felt that Blake Neff is one of the bad guys. Okay. I just have never gotten that particular vibe from him. I believe that when he speaks, he believes that he is telling the truth. And maybe that's why they want him in front of the camera. He's been the only person that has been responding in a way that feels even remotely authentic when he defends the actions of Mikey McCoy on that day.
So he's again, I want to make sure he's defending the actions of somebody you say is a blatant liar, but he's a good guy. So Neff is never seen to be a bad guy because he seemed the most genuine of them. And you think he believes what he's saying, and he believes he's delivering the truth, but you know for a fact that the other guys are lying. So then he's either slow or he's part of it. Okay.
I sense that he believes that he is telling the truth. Anyways, let's listen to what Blake Neff had to say in its entirety. It's not going to feel organic. Obviously, he's reading from a piece of paper. This has probably been reviewed 12 times by many different lawyers because that's how it works at big organizations and companies. But I don't fault him that. We'll pause at certain moments because I do want to be able to respond throughout it. It's a bit long, but I want to give them my platform as I always have made that offer to. So here is Blake Neff.
There's the out. There's the out. I found it. I'm going to go on a limb. It's a long limb. It's a limb nonetheless. They're going to offer her to come to talk to him. And she's going to say, no, come to my platform. And she's going to want to decide who comes to the platform to discuss it. And she'll say, I want the other guys to come. I'm going to give them my platform here. I'm just telling you, I'm just smelling something. I'm smelling the paper trail being laid down she's seasoning her chicken at this point. All right.
Ever since Charlie's murder, Candace Owens has leveled a flood of allegations against people at Turning Point USA, people at Turning Point Action, and people who work for this show. She's made them against some of Charlie's closest friends and against some of his most dedicated employees.
Yes.
She has suggested...
Oh, yes. I want you to hear her agree. What did he say? She has made allegations against these people, and he named them, right? She said yes. Am I dreaming? Am I dreaming that she agreed that she has been levying accusations against these people? Yes or no? Did she say it? Yes or no? Because I want to know if I'm going mad. Because I did hear her say yes. Okay, cool, right? Cool. All right, nice. We're on the same page. She has agreed with him that she has levied accusations against these people. All right, cool. Continue.
So that Michael McCoy, Charlie's chief of staff, knew Charlie would be murdered, was happy that he died, and stayed silent because he was told he would be the next Charlie. She has suggested Michael is not his real name. It is. I have seen his birth certificate myself. She has called it suspicious that Mikey's wife, who works at Turning Point, helped plan the campus tour event where Charlie was murdered, which she didn't, by the way. She doesn't work on campus events.
Okay, so first and foremost, I actually never said that she helped plan the event. I said it was suspicious that Mikey McCoy's wife, that we never found out who did plan the event. That was one of the answers that we wanted to know.
Really? Really? You know what tells me that you may not be right about that? Anybody? You want me to tell you how I know she's not sure about that answer? You ready? I'm going to back it up real quick. She is good, but she's not that good. She is good, but not that. Watch it. Watch what happens, right? Watch. Okay, watch it.
Campus tour event where Charlie was murdered, which she didn't, by the way. She doesn't work on campus events.
Okay, so first and foremost, I actually never said that she helped plan the event. I said it was suspicious that Mikey McCoy's wife, that we never found out who did plan the event.
Oh, that's what you said. That's not about that. What? Okay, listen. I'm telling you, looking left, right, stuttering. Oh, come on now. Come on now, Candy. All right, continue.
That was one of the answers that we wanted to know. And I said that she works in events. Still was not clear on what happened regarding Mikey McCoy. I think.
Oh, wait. No. I'm sorry. I have to keep pausing. I have to. Did you? Maybe I didn't hear right. I didn't. Now, remember, the guy that comes across very genuine, did he say that the wife does not work on events, right? That's what he said. Now, remember, she wants answers. Please remember, Candace wants answers. He said she never works events. What did she just say here? Hold on, back it up. What?
Okay, so first and foremost, I actually never said that she helped plan the event. I said it was suspicious that Mikey McCoy's wife, that we never found out who did plan the event. That was one of the answers that we wanted to know. And I said that she works in events.
Oh. So you have an answer. You did say that she works in the events. So let me ask a question. Elephant in the room again. You know me, I love elephants. If somebody works in events for a company, that's their job, is events, and they're not involved in planning, doing anything to do with the events at all? Well, you just said she worked in events. You said that you said it. You said it. I wonder how you came by the information that she works in events when she doesn't work in events by their admission. Now, remember, you said you wanted the info. You said you wanted the questions answered. She doesn't work in events. That's what they said. That's what they said. You wanted answers from them. Okay. All right.
Still was not clear on what happened regarding Mikey McCoy. I think the entire world believes that his actions are suspicious because we have eyes, and you don't get to wiggle out of that by pretending that us playing the words of his own father, Rob McCoy, who I think is highly suspicious in all of this. He has a suspicious background. We played his own words as he tried to sanitize someone who spent time in prison.
Whoa. No, don't go off into the weeds, Candace. Stay focused. No. Yeah, okay, we'll give you all of that, but that ain't what we talking about, Candace. No. We talking about the planning. He didn't go off into anything else, but you said you were going to address his statements. His statements was about the planning that you said his wife did, that he said she's not in the planning of. Then you said you told everybody that she was in event planning. And now you're going off into Mike McCoy and the father and who he had. Come on now. Candace. Don't paper trail off, okay? Just stay focused on what you're talking about. You said you wanted to stop it and address what they're talking about. He didn't talk about Mike McCoy and who he hired. You want to go into that. Now you're making it about how, everybody knows that they should be suspicious of Mikey. Come on now. Okay, you might be suspicious of Mikey, but he's mentioning his wife, who you said worked in events. I just wish you would stay on topic, Candace. But again, you can't, because if you stayed on topic, then you'd have to address the statements you made. And you can't do that because you caught yourself. This is what really happened. You caught yourself with what you just said. You realized you said, and you got your oh shit moment. Crap, I said I talked about her in events. But that doesn't mean we can't be focused on Michael. I mean, Mikey's been, you remember when his dad on the phone, you remember him? He's very suspicious. Look at the father. Look at what he did. I mean, come on. But that wasn't what he was talking about, was it? No, Candace. I feel like you're Douglas sometimes. You know who Douglas is? Remember the movie Up? Up was a great movie. I loved Up. And Douglas was, I think, was the dog. Wasn't Douglas the dog? Squirrel. And that's what she makes me feel like. She just went on to something else. Let's see if she comes back home.
For being a sexual deviant, right? For trying to take photos of young girls. I don't think he's a good guy, and you're not going to make us forget those things because you are trying to pretend that Mikey's actions were totally normal that day. They weren't. That's.
But he didn't talk about that. He hasn't even gotten to that yet, if he is going to get to that. So I'm just wondering why that would be the place you go to. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not addressing the one thing you did espouse, and you won't talk about your lies. You want to talk about everybody else's, but not yours, when you blatantly just let it slip out that that's what you were saying. You were saying that, and now you're trying to genuflect away from it. Don't do that.
Why I didn't make the public feel that way. Okay. I may have voiced how they felt, which everyone else is refusing to do, but I do believe that Mikey McCoy should have to answer for who he had on the phone right when the shot went off. So
why? But why? Okay, let's go through some things real quick. Let's give you the benefit of a few doubts, shall we? Okay, cool. Father and son didn't talk on the phone. Let's go with that. They didn't talk on the phone. The statement from Rob was that, oh, I talked to my son and he was covered in blood. Lie, we'll give you that 10 toes down, 100% lied about the fact that he talked about blood on his son, he didn't have any blood on him, blah, 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 blah. Cool. What does that have to do with the statement that the guy just made about the wife and event planning? That's all I want. What does that have to do? Hear me out. What does that have to do with the wife planning events about the memorial? You said, you said it, that she worked in events. You, at the beginning, you said you never said anything like that. And then you slipped up and said it. Then you had to genuflect away and go into something else that people find way more provocative. The father, the son, and this guy that he had hired that he eventually fired. Yeah, that will make people think differently than what you just said. They'll gloss over the fact that you admitted that he is right. Very well done, though. I'll give you that.
So, yeah, his father, his own father, is the one that spoke about Charlie's notebooks and spoke about how Mikey McCoy was talented. And it was Mikey McCoy who then jumped on Liberty University's stage for an event that was scheduled for Charlie Kirk. So there you go. That's our perspective. And I'm going to stand by it. Let's keep it rolling.
Candace has suggested the Utah Valley University event was unusual and its details suggested a, quote, inside job.
It was unusual. That's a fact. And you can quote me on that because I worked for Turning Point USA.
Worked. Okay. I'm going to try and be nice. I really am going to try. And I said try. Don't hold me to it. It's an attempt. You don't always get success on the first, second, third attempt. You do not work for Turning Point USA now. You have not been a part of Turning Point USA for a while, Candace. Turning Point USA was a whole lot smaller when you were there. As an organization, when they get bigger, things change, processes change, personnel changes. They're not going to stay the same the way you like it, Candace. So, oh, it was different than when I was there. That's like saying, this is how stupid you sound. It's like saying, well, when I went to college, that's not where the main building was. Something seems off about that. Sir, we did I don't care what kind of remodeling. We need to stick to the old ways of doing things. The building was in the middle of campus. That's where it belongs. But, sir, I need to see things I remember. Okay.
And I went on every tour since 2019. And typically those events are decided at least the semester before.
Let me see, 2019, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 20. So 6 years. 6 years, huh? And so you're telling me, so for 6 years, they must stay the way you left them. Otherwise, suspicious. It must stay the same. Suspicious.
This came together very quickly. It is unusual. And I don't know why you think that you are going to be able to disprove that notion when I have the emails to support that claim. Let's keep it rolling.
She has claimed that foreign aircraft have followed Erica Kirk around the country and that Turning Point has lied about this happening.
Definitely never said Turning Point lied because you never responded.
You never said they... Hold up. Because this one is recent, I think I can speak to this one. You ready for this? Let's go. Do you remember when she came up with this email from her super sleuth mommy that took, what was it, 15 hours to investigate? You remember that episode that she did? And she said how, oh, look, the planes were flying and following these people around, and for TPUSA not to notice would be a lie. That's what you said. For TPUSA not to know these planes were following Erica would be a lie. If Charlie had seen these blue planes, he would have known, so TPUSA had to know. You said that. What do you mean you didn't say that? What? Lady, you went on for 3 episodes about this blue and yellow plane. It was you, it was Coach Colin, it was all of you fools talking about this blue plane, this yellow plane. La Quinta Inn, your own building where your lawyers are. You went on a tirade about this. You had a whole half-hour section dedicated to telling people that, hey, they had to have known this plane was following Erica. Charlie had a notion that he could remember anything from planes, just like your husband. He's not, that's what you said. There's no way, bro. There's no way.
So that doesn't actually make any sense. And this is why it's not good to have lawyers write things out, because sometimes they're not so detail oriented.
Well, maybe it's time you listen to your lawyers and stop talking. Unless, of course, you don't have lawyers, but they do have to have lawyers because they worked in the same building you got pranked on. Or did we forget that? Well, let me be the first to remind you, Candace, that you are as slow as the people you're calling out. You were the one on camera reading your own lawyer's damn address saying it's a federal building with all the FBI working with in Egypt. And then after you finish reading, this was you. Well, that was you. Well, when you know you got punked, you know full well your ass got punked. That's why you disappeared. Because you got punked. You took your home. It wasn't no death threat that you took week off for. You took the week off to try and regroup how you were going to address stuff. Good Lord.
What we did was we showed at first that when I plotted these strange Egyptian jets, that they were following Charlie. And that was a concern because I wondered if they were tracking Charlie. We then obviously realized that they were tracking TPUSA faith events and that many more times they were following and perhaps tracking Erica. You should be concerned.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, whoa, that's not, again, that ain't what you said. Your super sleuth mommy, you thanked on screen for doing the research of plotting all the lines. You said that you had it wrong. They were not tracking Charlie. They were definitely tracking Erica. Not possibly, not maybe. You said they were definitely tracking Erica. But again, words don't mean much to you. Definite and maybe are the same to you. You said definite. I don't know how else to tell you this, Candace. You said they were definitely tracking Erica. Okay. But now I should be worried because they might have been tracking Erica. Okay.
About that. We find it odd that rather than being concerned or trying to get answers to why a foreign military jet would be on the ground during a time when Charlie Kirk was assassinated, you're upset with us for asking questions about these jets.
You know what you didn't ask? You didn't ask if they knew about the jets and they probably had it covered. You didn't ask that. No, what you did was you insinuated that the jets were there for a very nefarious purpose, period, point blank. And you kept running with that narrative, and you ran with the narrative that TPUSA knew about it. You implied, and in some cases said straight up, that these jets were there with foreign dignitaries plotting the death of Charlie Kirk, and that the TPUSA team knew about it. Those were your own damn podcasts. And I know you're lying. You know how I know when I can tell you're lying? You do this a lot and you'll slow down. Normally your cadence is straight up, blah, 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 blah. This time when you get caught, you have a lot of pauses and then you start and talk, and that's how I know you got caught in your own shit. You know what you said. You know exactly what you've been saying. Your problem is you don't like their answers to your questions. So now you want to press even more. And I hope you do. I really do. I hope you press more. I hope you press more. Continue.
Let's keep rolling.
She has accused us of lying about Charlie wanting Erica to take over for him if he died.
Never happened.
Yes, it did. What? What is going on? Am I in the twilight? Okay, y'all, look, I don't normally look down into and read, but damn it, I got to this time. I'm going to have to ask a question. I have to ask the question. I'm sorry, but I have to look for the answers in the comment section. I'm going to have to. Hear me out. Did Candace tried to propose that she was the one that should have taken over TPUSA, and she didn't know where they got the idea of Erica taking over? Yes or no? Did Candace do that? Yes or no? because I'm thinking I'm going crazy here, because I'm pretty sure that she dropped a whole metric ton of freaking text messages from Charlie talking bullshit about how you are my David and the take. Did you? Oh my God, this is infuriating. This is infuriating. You directly questioned their picking. You did. There's no way this is happening, bro. There is no way. This is insane. I understand the Mandela effect. Maybe that's what I'm stuck in. I'm stuck in the Mandela effect. It didn't happen. It didn't happen. The hell is going, man? My brain feels fried just sitting here.
That is not a quotation.
You see how long she took to answer? This is how I know you know you got caught. Watch.
These jets.
Watch.
Let's keep rolling.
She has accused us of lying about Charlie wanting Erica to take over for him if he died.
Never happened. That is not a quotation. That is just them saying that.
Look. People. You tell me you don't see it? You don't see it. That is the exact same face she made when she read the damn address of her lawyers. That wasn't a quote. that okay, listen. That I might have inferred, but that is not a quote. Did I say that, guys? Who said it? I said it? Shit. But it's not a quote. It's not a quote. They just made that up. Don't listen to them. It's all made up. It's all made up. This lady had videos talking about how odd it was that Erica was put in the leadership position. You went off on the fact that she was put in that position. You questioned the fact that she was even qualified for that spot, woman. There's no way. There's no way. No way, man. Look, I've tried to keep up with her lies as much as I could. But man, is this stuff going. All right, continue.
So let's keep rolling.
She has suggested Charlie's security team intentionally denied him first aid after the shooting to ensure that he died.
What you gonna say now?
When you say suggested, it means that they are interpreting my words. What I said is another fact. They did not issue him first aid when he.
Please listen. It's a fact. Now, remember, she wants answers from the people who were there. The people who were there said they did administer first aid. But that's not the answer you want, because your want outweighs what they say, which is why I'm telling you it'd be pointless if she went onto TPUSA. If she went onto that platform, any damn answer they give will not be sufficient for Candace Owens. TPUSA, listen to me carefully. This woman is going to gaslight you when she gets on your platform. I'm telling you now, she is going to gaslight you. She's going to ask you a question that seems pretty simple. And then when you give the answer, she's going to say that's not the question. And then she'll tell you, but that's not the answer people want. There will be no answer you can give her that will suffice. She wanted the answer. The security detail told you, yes, we did give first aid to him. That's not enough for her. Now she's saying somebody else who wasn't there, never saw it, that said it didn't. That's the one she believes. Why? Because it fits her narrative of who she wants to blame. It's going to be a pointless interview. Pointless.
Fell down. There was nobody who pulled out any gauze and tried to stop the bleeding. And they've admitted to that.
They admitted that nobody did that? Okay, hold on. Did anybody see the interview? Did anybody see the interview? With the security guard, the head security, did anybody see that interview? Nobody did gauze. You know what would be a great thing to have, which I doubt they'll talk about? If in case this goes to court, right, where it's supposed to be, and the autopsy comes out, okay? Say the autopsy pops up and the autopsy says the body was brought to the hospital post first aid. You think Candace is going to apologize? Hell no. Hell no, she's not going to apologize for that. She's going to say she still don't believe it. There are no answers that will fit this bat crazy woman. None. Okay, listen. She genuinely believes that she is Erica Kirk. She believes she is Erica Kirk. If something snapped in her mind, whatever trauma she had from the loss of Charlie, she has now planted herself as though she is Erica Kirk and she is the one that deserves all these so-called answers. That is wild.
Sit down with Sean Ryan. Brian Harpole said it was because of the severity of the injury. I'm sorry again that we noticed something.
He told you he packed it with gauze. Did we listen to two different interviews? We had to listen to two different interviews. She's saying that the guy said there was no first aid rendered. Bruh. All right, whatever.
That stood out as unusual, given the expertise and the amount of money that he was paying that supposed to be an elite team. Let's keep rolling.
She has raised suspicions about the head of our technical team because he took an SD card out of a camera. She has spread absurd claims that Tyler Boyer, who we just had on the show, sexually abuses male interns.
Okay, so yes, the SD card thing is unbelievably suspicious. It's not something that you would do. Neither would you just run up onto a grassy knoll and record yourself. Again, these are unusual actions. And rather than trying to pretend like it's normal to record a selfie video of yourself and to prematurely announce that somebody is dead, maybe you should answer why all of that took place.
Because he was there, dumb idiot. He was there, not you. I will speak for me. Once I got on Twitter and Twitter, or X as you call it, was flooded with that one camera angle. I think you all know which camera angle I'm talking about. That one 5 to 8 second shot of Charlie being struck. I will tell you what I thought the instant I saw it. I don't see how anybody would have survived what I saw on camera. There would have been, in my head, it was an instant thought, he's done. Charlie's not surviving that. I don't care how much they could have done. It looked fatal. So yeah, anybody on that groundwork that saw it would have been like, yep, he's gone. But you, in all your wonderful brilliance and glory, says, nah. The man stiffened up like a board right away. He got hit and he was done. I mean, it was rigor almost right away. Motor functions off. Everything in that shot told me that man was gone. And I wasn't even on the ground. You and all your brilliance wonder why someone could make that statement. Because they saw it. You, however, wanted everybody to keep seeing that shot and multiple other angles of it. You wanted that to be all over the internet. You trolled people. You annoyed people. You stalked people to get more footage to plaster all over the internet because you know why? Because you didn't give a damn what Erica saw. You wanted people to see Charlie die on screen. In fact, you reveled in watching it over and over. That's what you said. You watched it over and over and over. You even said, what's so wrong about that? It's already out there anyway. Sounded like Hillary Clinton. At this point, what difference does it make? He's already dead. So why is the problem to just keep watching footage of him getting shot? That is some...
Because you guys told lies about, verifiable lies about why that took place. Because don't forget, Andrew Colvett sat next to you and said it was because people were stealing. People were stealing. You probably would want to grab the very expensive cameras and not the SD card for an event that was being live streamed.
The SD card is more valuable than the camera, dingbat. The camera is not the one that keeps the information. The SD card is. The most important thing to grab would be the thing that has information, footage, coverage. Or is that, again, you're the one that says you know all this stuff. You're the smart one.
Regarding Tyler Boyer, I'm so glad we're going to do this live streamed because I'm happy to present to you the exact name of the intern. And I didn't say that he abused him. I didn't say it was not consensual. I said that he likes younger boys. I don't mean like younger as in they're not of the legal age. I'm just saying they're a lot younger than him.
You didn't clarify that. And you know you didn't clarify that. Candace, you are a master at saying exactly what you want people to believe. You used younger. That's what you used. You knew what people would think when they heard younger. Come on now. Stop. What you thought versus what you said are not the same. You said younger. You said it. People will hear younger, and what will they think? Tell me, what will people think if you tell somebody he likes younger boys? What do you think people are going to hear? You think they'll hear young men? Is that what you think they're going to hear? No, you know what they're going to hear. You know how your audience thinks. You know how people think. You did that on purpose. You did that to infer that he is a pedophile. But you can always come back and say, well, I didn't say he was a pedophile. I just said younger. What I meant was younger than him. I told y'all you can't win with this. TPUSA, I'm telling you now, if you have this woman on, you are going to be gaslit into oblivion. When I tell you gaslit, it's going to be of epic proportions. It will be unlike anything else you have ever seen on earth.
And yeah, I can give you the exact name of the intern that he hooked up with. That person was not at Turning Point USA, but I can also give you more than that, as well as people that are currently working for Turning Point USA who said that Tyler Boyer and these are young men tried to hook up with them after some events. So I'm glad we're going to live stream that. Keep going.
She has suggested that TPUSA faith-affiliated pastors, like theologian Frank Turek, who we'll have on in a moment, and Pastor Rob McCoy, are part of a military, quote, infiltration of Turning Point, either because they are veterans or because they have family members who are.
Yeah, tell them what you say.
I do believe the Calvary Chapel, their history with Chuck Smith, the evidence that it was a militant CIA effort to infiltrate the Christian faith and to tie the Christian faith to the political ideology of Zionism. I think there's a lot of evidence for that.
No. That's not what you said. That is not what you said. You said it's obvious. You keep using words, Candace, and I don't know if you know what these words mean. You said it's pretty obvious that they are a military infiltration of the church. Your words, obvious. Not a thought that it could be. Or there might be evidence leaning towards of it being an option. That's not what you said. Every time you get caught in a lie, you sugarcoat it to try and say, well, I didn't fully and quite possibly maybe said half of could be that. I just inferred and said, maybe suggested. Next you're going to hear, I didn't say that people were going to kill me. I said they had a plot to kill me. I didn't know, and the same way she did with the Macrons. Listen to me carefully. On the surface, out loud, she'll tell you that is a man. Even during this particular live, she called Miss Macron a man. In her filings privately through her lawyers, you know, she's now dogging lawyers. Don't always listen to your lawyer. In the lawyer, she said, you know what? I am only a, what you call it? How did she phrase it? Opinion podcast. That's all you are, just an opinion-based content. That's it. I thought you were a journalist. You keep trying to tell Piers Morgan that you have these multiple degrees and they all link to journalism, which means you work on fact. But now you're telling the courts that you are opinion. So which is it? Which is it? Are you opinion or are you fact? Now he's calling to question your crap. Now all of a sudden, everything you said is just your opinion and you're just asking questions. Damn. Hey, look, TP, you're in for some hard work, man.
And I'm happy to discuss that in a broader debate.
Oh,
I do think that things at Turning Point USA became a bit problematic when you started to, I would say, almost hijack genuine Christian faith. And
what is genuine Christian faith, Candace? How would you know what genuine Christian faith is following the Pope? How you gonna know that? You're the one that follows that dude, right? You said genuine Christian faith. I would think a genuine Christian like yourself would call them out, but I don't see you doing that. I find that suspicious. It could be that, you know, you are linked up with them for some nefarious reasons. I wonder what those reasons could be. Maybe I should pull a you. Let me pull a you. Let's pull a you. It just seems to me that we have a history over there with the altar boys and priests. And you seem to support them without calling out their misdeeds. That's kind of weird. What does that tell me about you? I mean, it's for sure that they do that, 100%. I mean, unequivocal. It's fact. And you pushing for them. I'm just opinion though, so don't worry about it.
And sort of roll it into this idea that you must support Israel in order to be a Christian. That's kind of floating into more opinion, but I think well backed by the facts of the founding of the Calvary Chapel Church during the decade of the 60s, where the CIA was really just spiking the ball on Christians in general.
So you don't know. So he's right. So that's what you did all that talking to say that he's right. That you did suggest that that's what that was. Yeah? So you're not debunking, you're solidifying. I'm glad we're on the same page. Continue.
Let's keep going.
Even if not everyone has been named specifically, though, Candace has effectively tarred everyone here with complicity in Charlie's death by repeatedly saying he was, quote, betrayed by, quote, everyone.
Sorry, that was a dream that I had. And it is also a realization that it has been months.
No. That dream of Charlie came after you said Charlie was betrayed by everyone. The dream came after, Candace. You used the dream as a solidifying factor to your statement before. Weeks before. You did indeed say everyone betrayed him. You went on a tirade about everybody moving on so quickly before the dream. Before the dream, long before the dream, Candace. Moral of the story, don't lie. Don't lie, because when you lie, it's hard to keep track of the dumb shit you say when you lie. And you have to act as though what you said was just theory. You said everybody betrayed him long before you had this dream. Stop lying. Now you're lying on a dead man. That's even worse.
People at Turning Point USA are in possession of text messages and the day before Charlie died, in which he wrote out to you, and not just to people that work at Turning Point USA, but also security guards, that he thought that they were going to kill him tomorrow, explicitly. I find it highly unusual that you wouldn't share that information at all, or that you would sit by and be quiet, or at some points attack people that are trying to explore who they is, because I don't think anybody believes that Charlie thought that a trans furry kid who had never been on UVU's campus was going to kill him tomorrow.
Gotcha. I finally got you. If what I'm about to say does not cause all 5 million of your viewers to leave, I have lost all hope in all of humanity. I have. There's no way I can be hopeful. And I'm going to say right now, I'm going to even bet that even Corey not going to be hopeful after this statement. Candace says she is in possession of a text message. Listen to me. Of Charlie saying he was going to die the next day. That's what she says. Candace Owens says she has text messages of this. Candace Owens also said that she highly doubts that he would be in fear of some furry. But Candace Owens also said that she was in touch with a French snitch who she verified and vetted to be an actual member of the French government, her words. And in his messages to her, he said that the assassin trained with them. Candace has yet to tell anybody, including the FBI, because all she did was text her death threat. She has yet to tell anyone in government who that assassin was. Candace knows who killed Charlie Kirk. That's what she said. She read the letter to you. Y'all have the letter. The letter says that that person, the assassin, trained with the Israelis and the French government. Did he not say that? Both you, Benny, Brandon, all of y'all just glossed, and Coach Colin just glossed over that she has information about Charlie's killer, and she's sitting on it. She's not giving it to anyone, not to the FBI, CIA, MIA, none of them. She was told by her informant that there is one killer. One. Just one. Okay.
And you're silent during moments when people are lying, like Josh Hammer, when he said, hey, this never happened, Charlie never blinked on Israel, makes you all look very, very suspicious.
What makes you look suspicious is proving to anyone that the text messages that you have are real. Prove that. Forensically, prove it. Because remember, this is between you and Charlie that you kept for some reason 7 years long. Okay.
Lies are only necessary, okay, when you are covering something. And if you are covering the truth, you are betraying Charlie. So I stand by that. Let's keep going.
She has said Charlie's murder, quote, had to be approved by Charlie's friends, and then suggested those friends might have her murdered too for, quote, knowing the truth.
So you notice that's like a Snopes tactic. When he says the quote, it's actually not a full quotation. I never said that, obviously.
No, what did you say though? Tell us what you said. Go ahead.
In the context that he put it in, that Charlie's friends, quote, had to know he was going to be murdered. That did I say the sentence, had to know he was going to be murdered? Perhaps, but we're going to need to hear the full sentence because you're trying to context it in a way that is just untrue. And
you're trying to context it in a way that ain't true, but you did say it in context. In context, you said it. That is weird that you just all of a sudden now we need context for that. We need context. And you can't believe everything you just hear on this. That's not what I meant. Even I have to hear the context to remember what I said. Candace, listen. Do you remember what you said about the TPUSA event when they were doing the memorial for Charlie? Do you remember what you said there? Let's recap real quick. During the time that you weren't invited to it, you found big issue with the fact that you weren't invited, but you said that they set it up so that you would make them, you want to go, and you wouldn't go because you knew it was orchestrated, built up. And at that time, you knew how the event. It's weird that you knew how the event was planned and who planned it at that time, but all of a sudden now you forget who planned it because you said that the FBI planned it. Did you forget that? Did you remember? You remember you said that the FBI did that? They set it up to get you to show up, to catch you, and to end your life. Remember you said that? Did you forget? Oh, you probably forget. I'll remind you. That's what you said. And then you said, I wouldn't be smart to go there considering that I'm going so hard after them. They might want to end me. Your words? No, that over. So was it Mikey's wife that set it up? Mikey that set it up? TPUSA that set it up? Or the FBI? Which one? Or wait, or don't you remember who set it up? You're still looking for answers, although you said that the CIA, FBI did it in order to lure you to show up. My bad. I keep forgetting what you say. There's so many things.
I don't think it's necessary. If you're willing to have a conversation that you need to
No.
lie about anything that I've said, people have watched the show. They know exactly what I've said.
No, okay, we're backing up now. I hope y'all caught that next one. Let's back this up. I want to hear it in full.
That Charlie's friends, quote, had to know he was going to be murdered. That did I say the sentence, had to know he was going to be murdered? Perhaps, but we're going to need to hear the full sentence because you're trying to context it in a way that is just untrue. And I don't think it's necessary. If you're willing to have a conversation that you need to lie about anything that I've said, people have watched the show. They know exactly what I've said.
So they don't need to do all that because people have watched it. People know what I said. That's not necessary. Okay.
And I tend to stand by what I've said. And I do stand by everything that I've said. Keep going.
She has made claims of financial impropriety and fraud at Turning Point, adding up into the millions of dollars, which, again, is not true. Charlie made sure the organization was audited by a third party every year. He personally reviewed and he signed off on every expense report and literally every single bill paid by the organization down to a single United States dollar. We have never missed a 990 deadline.
Okay, so immorality, like financial impropriety, does not necessarily mean that you committed true financial fraud. There's definitely financial impropriety at the company. I would say that if you are representing yourself as a charity and what you're actually doing is evaporating millions of dollars into various LLCs that have your name on it, that would be financial impropriety, right? Like,
you see the goalpost just moved, right? Did you see how she just moved the goalpost? And she did it so smooth? Do you see what she just did? Now, whereas before, she is definitely telling you they definitely skimmed on this. They cheated on their paperwork. But now, well, listen. What I mean was morally, paper, you got LLC. This is exactly what will happen if she gets on TP. Look, listen to me. If she gets on TPUSA to do any kind of interview, that's the kind of gymnastics she's going to pull. I'm telling you now, this is the gymnastics she's going to pull. Okay.
You could say, I'm a contractor on this LLC, on that LLC. I'm not doing anything illegal, but it's inappropriate. It's improper.
Candace, you suggested they were doing illegal things. You said they were doing illegal things. You said they were cooking books. You said they were lying about you said they were funneling money. You said this. Now that they said you said it, look, it's not illegal, okay? It's just a little bit off. It's just not, but it's not illegal. So you just said to make people believe that they were doing stuff illegally. I just want to make sure. Why bring it up if it's not illegal? There's no illegality in it, right? None. None whatsoever. To your own admission, no illegality. So you decide to just bring it up randomly for no reason because it wasn't illegal. But you did say it was things that they did wrong. It wasn't just inappropriate or impropriety either. You suggested that they were doing things illegally. The odd thing is, even your people that follow you, that have their own podcast, even brought on so-called auditors, and the auditors even said, well, we didn't see anything wrong, but it just seems kind of weird that they would do it this way, that way, and the other. It's all in an attempt to discredit TPUSA. That's all this is.
Most people are not able to read those forms and won't understand what's happening to the $80 million. And I think that those questions are, of course, valid and that you guys should have no issues answering them. I am struck by the fact that you're still trying to conflate an annual audit with Charlie's explicit request to put together a Doge department 7 days before he died.
Candace, that wasn't one of the claims. They're not conflating anything. Your statements were about the annual audits. Your statements were about his annual audits. They are addressing what you brought forward. I don't know how this is difficult. You said something. You admitted that you said it. That's what they're addressing. And now all of a sudden, goalpost gets moved. And why do they need to answer to you for their books? What are you thinking you're going to find on the books? A payment for his assassination? Is that what you're inferring? Are you inferring that just supposedly, maybe perhaps you're going to find on those books a payment for Charlie's death? So you're still accusing them of murdering him, if I'm reading you right.
These are not the same. You know they're not the same. I know they're not the same. Okay. Everyone knows that Doge is not the same as the audits that are required for 501c3s, conducting an internal audit. And having you still misrepresent that makes us uncomfortable.
Who is us? Can I ask you a question, Candace? Why are you so intent on finding out what their books do while you haven't showed us yours? TPUSA, I'm going to say something to you. When she asked that question, ask her to show you her books. Yep. Ask to see her books. Ask to see her audits. Ask to see where she gets her money, who's paying her, when she gets paid, by who. Put all that on the table too, because you want, right? You want ours? Reciprocate. Reciprocate. Who's paying you, Candace? Where you get your money from? Who's funding you? Who? I mean, you said you had handlers, right? Who are your handlers? Who pays you? Who's been paying you to attack TPUSA? Who's paying you to attack Erica Kirk? Who is paying you to defend Tate, Andrew Tate? Who was paying you to defend Andrew Weinstein? Who? Who was paying you to do all that? Who paid you to back pedophiles in the Catholic Church? Who paid you to do that? Or those are too many questions for you to answer? We find that suspicious that you won't speak on the places that you get money from. I mean, we don't know, but we know. We don't know that you're paid off by Qatar, but we kind of know. We don't know that you get paid from the Russians, but we know. We don't know, but we know. I heard, someone told me, we heard from good sources that your money comes from some Arab nation of Muslims. I don't know, but I know. Now show us your books, because we need to know. Because if you're getting paid by a foreign agent in American soil to push propaganda to Russia divide between Americans, that's problematic. And if that's problematic, it depends on who might have had that money and if they have a hand in trying to end another American citizen and you're lying about it. Oh, my goodness. But you won't show your books, though. Okay.
Address the Doge. That's got nothing to do with anything other than Charlie, right? Charlie felt that this needed to happen, and inside sources at your own company say it was because he didn't know where the money was coming from or how quickly and where exactly the money was being evaporated to. That passes the vibe check in terms of what Doge is about, because, of course, Charlie could not have been establishing Doge for the last 5 years because that's a very new concept as of 2025, something that Trump put into place with Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy, right? So, yeah.
Untrue, by the way, FYI. Doge has been around before that. It actually came into play if she did her research. It actually got implemented during Obama's term. Trump renamed it, but it's the same exact bones. It's not a vibe. That's been there since Obama. FYI, just so you know, y'all can look that up, verify it for me if you want, but it's out there. That was implemented during Obama. Was supposed to be a government checklist against all the fraud in government. That's what it was initially supposedly set up for. He renamed it to Doge. So it wasn't implemented in 2025. Just I thought y'all should know that because she's the one that does history so well, but still doesn't know the French Foreign Legion was begun in 1851. So, okay.
Yeah, you're still being dishonest, but carry on.
Candace has made other stranger allegations involving French paratroopers in maroon shirts, Egyptian Air Force planes flying out of Provo, Utah, and potential underground assassins traveling through unseen tunnels.
Yep.
At one point in early November, she started wildly throwing suspicion on members of Utah Valley's soccer team for wearing hoodies.
Yep.
I could go on. There is always something new coming up, and none of it ever pans out.
Nope.
Because from the start, there has been nothing there.
Period.
Okay, so no matter how many times you keep pretending there's nothing there at the Egyptian plains, the whole internet understands that there's something there at the Egyptian plains.
Okay.
Especially because you keep pretending like it's not weird.
Oh.
Like you're just like, it's not weird. No, this is normal. It's totally fine that these Egyptian planes. And also, by the way, today it broke that the Saudi king was on this plane at some.
He got this lady sounding like Porky Pig now. That's all, folks. You notice how she brushed past all the crazy shit she had said before about the maroon shirts? And not to mention the bee people. The soccer team. She goes straight to what? She goes straight to the planes. The plan, boss, the plan. Fantasy Island shit. I gotta hear the stutter again, though. That stutter was amazing.
Out. Because from the start, there has been nothing there.
No.
Okay, so no matter how many times you keep pretending there's nothing there at the Egyptian plains, the whole internet understands that there's something there at the Egyptian plains.
Yeah.
Especially because you keep pretending like it's not weird. Like
weird.
you're just like, it's not weird. No, this is normal. It's totally fine that these Egyptian planes. And also, by the way, today it broke that the Saudi king was on this plane at some point in 2023. We'll get to that later. And you guys are like, this is totally normal. This is just what happens at UVU. People just lay over into Wilmington, do things. It's just so foolish. You guys have got to stop the gaslighting if you think your organization is going to survive. I mean, some of that stuff is just...
Whoa, what? Oh. You see, sometimes the truth comes out. Sometimes the truth just has a way of just finding its way out of the deepest, darkest, nastiest holes. The most pus-infected holes, it'll find its way out. And it just went, bleh, and it just dropped. She just told you what her plan was. And you notice again, she has not tackled the other options that the man laid out that she keeps putting out as options and they never pan out. She leaves those alone. But I want you to hear what she just said.
This is normal. It's totally fine that these Egyptian planes, and also, by the way, today it broke that the Saudi king was on this plane at some point in 2023. We'll get to that later. And you guys are like, this is totally normal. This is just what happens at UVU. People just lay over into Wilmington, do things. It's just so foolish. You guys have got to stop the gaslighting if you think your organization is going to survive. I mean, some of that stuff is just untrue. saying that I went after somebody for wearing a green hoodie is not true at all.
Very true. Actually, it is 100% true. Your video is still up, by the way. Your video is still on the interweb. It is literally on your page, Candace. In fact, there are other platforms that grabbed it and played it. Even the maroon shirt thing. Let's see if you denounce that too. Hold on.
We never even covered the green hoodie people on this show.
No,
I shared a picture when somebody asked for a picture.
that's covering it, Candace. I never covered it except that one time when I did. There's no way, no way, bro. No way. I've never done that. Okay, well, one time I did show it. I mean, I covered it one time, but that's not the same as covering it. Come on.
Because they were trying to investigate and identify everyone who was there, which is valid. And the person wearing the green hoodie was not even upset about it. He responded. So that has nothing to do with me whatsoever.
So you didn't. So, Candace, which is it, man? Did you or did you not? It sounded like you investigated it. It sounded like you covered it because you got some information about it. Am I high? Am I floating right now? I didn't take any pain meds today. It's been a good day for pain, so I didn't take nothing. I feel pretty good. I don't think I'm high.
And by the way, it would probably feel better to the public if you guys were the ones that were asking questions about who was there on that day. I completely stand by what I said about the people that are wearing maroon shirts. They are going to, I will guarantee you, represent a military unit somewhere. I'm very close to figuring out exactly which military unit that was. Again,
she's always close to something. I ain't never seen a woman so close and yet so far. I ain't never seen a woman so close and yet so far. I don't get it. I don't get it. She's always been on the verge of a breakthrough. We are close, people. Every time she opens up her platform, we are close to breaking it. We are close to we're so close. We're on the cusp. We're on the bridge. We're on the edge. We're about to break. We have this. We possibly, man, what?
and trying to gaslight us and pretend we're conspiracy theorists or like that's stupid. Not a good long-term strategy for Turning Point USA. Carry on.
Carry on.
The attacks and allegations from Candace are either lies or they are innuendos thrown around with a total reckless disregard for the truth.
Yep.
So that Candace can manipulate and string along an audience of people who don't realize they are being played.
Yep.
Instead of being able to grieve properly after one of the most heinous murders in American history, a murder many of us had to witness, my friends have had to endure harassment from people who have gotten whipped up by what Candace is saying.
Facts.
In fact, I would say we have suffered more harassment from these people than we have from Antifa supporters who overtly celebrate Charlie's murder. And just like a lot of those Antifa members, many of these people take this delight in how gross and unpleasant they can be.
Facts. In fact, they're here now. We will make a video about Candace, okay? And we've noticed this trend. We've noticed it. We just haven't addressed it. We've noticed it. And there's one common denominator when it comes to a Candaceite, okay? The Candacites have a very specific approach. One, they call you stupid because you don't understand Candace. Second, they'll say you didn't do the research and you need to listen to her. And in the onset, the first time we went after her before the Charlie Kirk thing, because we started on her tail when she did the Macron thing. We did exactly that. You know what? We took their advice. We decided we were going to listen to the Macron video. In fact, we did quite a few reactions to the whole video. You know what we found? People did not like when we said what she said. Like we played it. We played her own words. And when we hear her own words saying it, and I repeat her own words, the Candyites would come and tell me, that's not what she said. You just need to listen better. She is the truth. Just because you don't that's the kind of crap. And then they would come with the names. You're an idiot. You're a dummy. You just don't understand. Okay, cool. I'm a dummy. But I've said that before. You're not telling me anything I don't know. I ain't never called myself smart. At least not smart. I might be smart, but not smart. If I was smart, woo, it'd be over. But I'm not smart. I'm not smart. But we played for you her own words about Miss Macron. She used facts. She used her words of facts, not that she presented facts. She said she had facts. She had proof. She had definitive proof. And then when it was time to put up in her documentation to the courts, I'm an opinion piece. Y'all explain that to me. You Candyites explain that to me. Does Candace give facts or does she give opinion? Because in Candace's own words, in a court document, she does not give fact. She gives opinions. She's an opinion podcast. You can read it yourself. Her own lawyers call her that. And she would have had to agree with it since she's so smart. She would have said, yeah, that's exactly what I am. I'm an opinion. I don't say facts. Interesting.
What our friends have had to endure is not funny, and it's not insignificant.
Nope.
It is evil. I have seen it.
Okay, conflating people that are trying to figure out who murdered Charlie Kirk with like Antifa is actually objectively funny.
No, it's not. It's dangerous, Candace. You might find it funny when people actually get harmed because you laughed at the fact that Charlie died. You find it funny because you make money off of it. You struggled to cry. You had to force two of the most worthless looking tears out of them eyes that you got that keep squinting. You had to force it out on a live. You're the disingenuous one. Your people are dangerous. Your people, the people that listen to you, have actually gone out to try and kill Jews. I haven't heard you denounce it or talk about it at all. Somebody that followed you, one of your Candyites. One of your Candyites took your words about Israel and wanted to go and kill Jews. You created a mini Hitler and you didn't care. But then again, by your own words, that wasn't a Holocaust anyway. That was Israel propaganda to make people believe a Holocaust happened, but it didn't. That was a lie. That was you. And that's not dangerous? That's not dangerous at all. Your people going out to actually kill people, that's by your own words, that's not dangerous. Okay.
An unforced error. They should not have included that in the statement. Somebody in that room was like, should we say that? Should we not? And somebody said, no, we shouldn't say that. And then somebody else in the room said, no, we should, let's keep it in. That second person was wrong. That should have been struck from the statement.
No, it should be left in and doubled down on because that's what you are. You're worse than Antifa. We'll say it here too. You're worse than Antifa. Yeah. Your Candyites are worse than Antifa. You don't like being compared to that? Then maybe, just maybe, don't compare his friends to betrayers that would get him killed. You don't like the comparison of your friends and fans to Antifa, right? You hate that? That should be struck. Maybe your stupid ass statement about people sitting on the sidelines while Charlie died should be struck too. But no, that's just you asking questions. I'm just asking a question, folks. I don't mean nothing by it. Okay, well, that's just his opinion then.
very silly. Okay. It's very silly to attack your own audiences who are concerned and your own donors who are concerned and say, you're Antifa. If you
No. Yours, not theirs. Yours. Your people are asking them those stupid questions, not their people. People that support TPUSA are not acting like your people. Don't you see? And you talk about conflating. You conflating right now. Don't be putting your crazy minions on other people. We don't want them. Listen carefully. Here, hear me out. We don't want your level of crazy influencing regular people. Nope. Keep that shit to yourself, woman. Keep that mad, that volatile mental bullshit to yourself. We don't need that. Your people are just crazy. They don't even listen to you. They are so easily whipped up into a frenzy that you could say, I ate a ghost this morning and I pooped gold bricks. You can have them today for the low price of $1 million each, and they'll be clamoring to buy it. Ain't nobody want followers like yours. Your people are the ones asking these questions. No regular person does that. Not a single mentally stable individual are doing what your people do. Let's just stop. You're the one conflating.
don't accept this absurd Fed slop. If you're not going to drink the Fed slop, then you are Antifa. Just not a good idea whatsoever.
See how the gaslighting happens? He's talking about her following, and she turns it around to say, don't talk about your followers like that. That's not a good look to talk about your followers like that. Candace, those are your people. Own your people. Own them. Oh, listen, own your people. They love you. All 5.6 million of them love you. Look, they worship the ground you walk on. Some of your people believe you are God. I'm not lying. Some of your people genuinely believe you are indeed a God. There have been people leaving comments on your posts about how you are the light. You are the truth. Stuff that for years people just ascribed to Jesus. You just beat Jesus out. I thought you were the top podcaster, but now not only that, you are the #1 savior of the world too. You have really grown up. I mean, wow.
Okay, that is not what's happening here. You are not the victim. Charlie is, actually. He's dead. And to pretend like you are too aggrieved to be able to answer the questions makes entirely no sense. Obviously, if you were actually under a real amount of stress, if you actually were deeply upset that people had you on a list of suspects or thought that you were suspicious, you would just clarify things.
They did. They said they weren't. And from the get-go, Candace, they said they weren't. From the instant it happened, they said, I don't know what she's talking about. None of us did that. That wasn't enough for you. The same way with the Macrons. When you said, just tell us that you are born a woman, your words in your own damn podcast, they come back, I was born a woman. No. Now I need proof. I need a doctor's note, please. You keep moving the goalposts when people answer your question. You said that Netanyahu letter, he left all kinds of stuff out. Then the Netanyahu letter dropped and you shut the hell up. And we said you would. You get caught getting pranked, you never talk about that no more. That address just went poof. There are so many words I could use for you that if I didn't have to repent later, I'd use.
Instantly, immediately. It's so easy. It's free. If someone said, Candace, what were you doing when Charlie Kirk was shot? I'd be like, I was sitting down at my table prepping my show. Like, the question doesn't offend me because I had nothing to do with Charlie dying.
Why would you say that? Why would you insinuate? Why would you even why would that be an analogy you care to bring? So now you are saying they had something to do with. So first you said you never insinuated that. Her words. I never said that. Now you're saying it because they didn't say anything. They must have had something to do with his death. But I find it weird that you would say that you have nothing to do with his death. I wonder if you did have something to do with his death after all. Huh. See, now I have to wonder, because that just seemed kind of off the wall. Like, that just kind of popped out there. Okay, so you said you had nothing to do with his death. Suppose I don't believe you. How can you prove to me that you didn't have anything to do with his death? I mean, we haven't seen your books. We don't know who you actually talked to. There's rumors that you talked to Qatar. There's rumors that you talked to Russia. There's rumors. Maybe you should address the rumors. Maybe put it to rest by showing us your financials. I don't know. People are accusing you of that. So I would think an innocent person would say, nah, here's my books. You didn't do that, though, but you're asking TPUSA to do it. In fact, you're asking everybody to do that, but you. You want the Macron's books to see if they hired a killer. You want Charlie's books to see if they misplaced money. You want the U.S. books. You want the Fed's books. You want everybody's book but your book to be shown. Show your books. Show your books. Drop them beautiful receipts, girl. We won't see who paying you. Get paid. I'm rich, bitch. I want to see it. I want to see your results of your paycheck, girl. Not the YouTube one. We know YouTube paying you plenty of money, but we want to see the other people, your handlers. That's what we want to see.
Okay. This is a psychological technique that is failing. It is failing for you. And you're upset because you thought that with time, with the passage of time, people would let the story go and they didn't. And these reasons that he's about to list for why they didn't respond and answer any questions are beyond ridiculous.
Let's
take a listen.
For months, we have received hundreds, thousands, I suspect, emails and calls asking us to respond.
Now, mind you, that part is at the beginning of his life. Okay, not the end. She took the beginning, took it off, dropped it at the tail end of her response. This was what he started off with. Go find it for yourself. It's still up on TPUSA site. This is how he started, not how he ended. You'll understand why that's vital in a minute.
Yeah.
People have wanted us to invite Candace on the show, but for a long time, our approach was to say nothing. We did that for several reasons. First, we thought that her prevarications were so absurd that nobody would believe them. We shouldn't have to answer questions about secret tunnels or Egyptian Air Force planes. That sort of thing is just, it's beneath contempt to respond to.
Facts. Candace isn't owed an explanation from anyone about anything to do with Charlie Kirk because she was not married to Charlie Kirk. She was simply an outside forgotten friend. She was a woman scorned. Candace doesn't deserve shit. Ain't nobody got to give her ass nothing. You do not deserve an answer because you are not part of that circle anymore, Candace. As much as you want to be, you are a farmer, not a Kirk. Erica has that title. Erica bore children to Charlie, not you. You understand the difference here? You ain't part of TPUSA. Erica is. You married a Brit. You got you one of them other ones from the pond, across the pond, right? That's yours. Stick with yours. Go upstairs and deal with your husband. No, instead you downstairs in your own basement talking about another man that you probably more than likely wanted. You spending hours in your basement talking about another man. And that thing you call a husband, just letting it happen. don't deserve no answers. He has a valid point. It is beneath them.
The second reason we've said so little, though, is because there's a good rule of thumb, which Charlie followed. Do not feed the trolls.
Yep.
Focus on the mission, reviving America, uplifting young people, making heaven crowded. Don't give air to people who want to tear you down
Facts.
and sow discord. Lastly, we didn't respond because Charlie always viewed Candace as a friend, and we were holding out hope that she would return that friendship and stop what she was doing.
But she didn't, did she? No, she didn't. Those are stupid reasons for her, by the way. Mind you, that's what she said at the beginning. She said, these reasons are stupid. Huh? She said those reasons are stupid. Okay. So they don't want to deal with it because it's beneath them and you don't need to get that information. Factual, because you're not part of TPUSA. They were holding out hope for you. And as a friend, you would stop. We even said that. Even Erica, who you said that if she said to stop, you would stop, asked you to stop and you didn't stop. So you lied. You lied. You lied when you said, I will not stop unless my husband or Erica Kirk tells me to stop. And since they haven't said anything, I'm not going to stop. And here comes Erica Kirk. For his children's sake, shut the hell up. What do you say? I know I said I was going to hush, but I'm not. Now I'm definitely going to talk. Kind of like he did with the so-called gag order. I know I'm not supposed to talk, but I'm gonna break that gag order. You ain't gonna stop me. I'm gonna break it. And if you try to stop me, I'm gonna stab you. But mind you, all his logic that he just put out are inconsequential to Candace. They're dumb reasons.
Okay, so the first thing he says there is we didn't respond because it's beneath us.
Yes, it is.
Like, that's just not the right attitude. I mean, that is an elitist attitude. It is beneath us to respond to the very people who showed up in scores because they were so moved by Charlie's assassination that they all poured into the Staples Center. Right?
They're not beneath. You are. Stop conflating, Candace. Stop conflating. He said having you on would be beneath them. You are beneath them. Get the hierarchy here. It ain't the people. It ain't the ones that give money. It ain't the ones that were at the event. It's your ass. Your ignorant, lying, trifling, worthless ass is the one they're talking about. Nobody else. Candace Owens Farmer. That's who they're talking about. Get it right. Don't conflate. Don't deflect. It's you. Candace Owens. Only Candace Owens. Just you. They're not talking about donors. They don't want you. They're not answering your stupid questions. Those questions are beneath them. You accuse these people the second day of being trifling. Why the hell would they want to talk to you? The day after, your day after that Charlie died, you came on screen and accused them. By day 4, you were accusing the FBI and CIA. By day 6, you were accusing the B cult. By day 7, it was the blue planes that showed up. By day 8, it was France and Israel and the United States. Then the purple shirt people, then the green shirt people. I'm surprised the gnomes and the goblins didn't get looped into this. Voldemort didn't get called in. No, Candace. You, they don't want around. Stop conflating and bring in all the people that actually support TPUSA. They like them because they were there. They were actually invited. Your worthless behind was not invited. And you wanted to be so invited that you felt the reason they didn't invite me was because they still wanted me to show up. This is how narcissistic this woman is. No, listen. They didn't invite me. I wouldn't have gone if they did. but they didn't invite me because they wanted me to show up. Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah. You see, they knew that I wouldn't show up if I was invited. So they didn't invite me so I would show up because that's what they actually wanted, even though they didn't invite me. I am TPUSA. YMC. Oh, Lord. Anyway, continue, lady.
Right, and poured their tears out and made videos and donated. It is beneath us to not to then respond to questions that you have that are meaningful, because
you brought these up. They're talking about you. Candace, please focus. Stop trying to piggyback everybody else in with you to make it seem as though they're attacking everybody. They're attacking you because you attack them. It's fair exchange. It's no robbery.
as we just think it's so stupid that you would suggest that the feds are involved in an assassination. That's never happened in American history. What? So that's a ridiculous thing. The second thing he says there is, Charlie always said, don't feed the trolls. Well, that flies into the face of what he says thereafter, where he says Candace and Charlie were friends.
You're still a troll. He didn't anticipate you using his death. He didn't ever say or see you being the threat. You can be a former friend and a blooming troll. You're a troll. Both in look and in behavior, you're a troll. Yep, don't feed the trolls. He was right. What he never probably anticipated is that one of his friends would be that person, if you were a friend. You're proving that you weren't really his friend. You were waiting for him to die so you could possibly, hopefully, take over TPUSA. He didn't die early enough. You see, you wanted him dead. Because with him around, TPUSA couldn't be yours. Because if you really wanted him alive, when he had told you in that so-called text that you say is his, when he told you that he thinks about being assassinated, and you would have just brushed it off. You would have told him, Charlie, that's not going to happen. Not while I'm around. No one's going to touch you. I will use every resource I have to make sure that never happens. You never did that. Not in your text. You just brushed that over. Until he kind of resigned himself to, well, you know, I'm just thinking out loud. That was you. You showed that text messages. That's crazy, isn't it? That you don't want to talk about that part? You wanted Charlie gone. A lot earlier than now, though. While you were still with TPUSA, so you could actually be the Mason to take over.
So I'm not a troll, okay? I'm not a troll. I'm not trolling. I'm not someone who's hated Turning Point and wanted Turning Point to fail. I'm actually the exact opposite of that.
Lies, because you just said TPUSA is going to fail. Your own words bite a lot, don't they? You said that you wanted to be the head of TPUSA, so you're lying again. And I don't know how your audience don't catch this. Nope, I do know why. I know how. My bad. I do know how y'all fall for it all the time. You're candyites.
And that's why the people believe in me and they trust me, because they feel that I'm the only one that's acting right in this situation. Who wouldn't want to have every stone unturned if they cared about somebody? Who wouldn't want to have every question answered?
See, when I tell you she's not the smartest individual. Did you hear what she said? And y'all go, she misspoke. She misspoke. What she meant was she wants every stone turned over, not unturned. For every stone to be unturned, that means you leave it the way it is. At least we agree on something, Candace, that we want to leave every stone unturned. I think you meant to say leave no stone unturned. lordy, 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 lordy.
Who wouldn't be immediately suspicious to see Egyptian military jets? Who wouldn't go, why the hell were these jets around Turning Point way before, years before Charlie's assassination? Who is on these jets?
I wonder if they were following TPUSA when you were there. Now, if you find, just suppose we find out that these planes were flying around TPUSA when Candace was involved. I wonder what that would mean. Oh my gosh. That must mean that she's part of the plot too.
Instead, you're mentioning the Egyptian planes for the fourth time. So I would like to recommit everybody that is watching this to figuring out what the hell is going on with these Egyptian planes, because they're nervous about them. Okay.
This is what she did to Macron's too. She mentions MK Ultra. They re-mention MK Ultra. They just keep going on about MK Ultra. You mentioned the Egyptian planes, make 4 videos about the Egyptian plane. They mention it 4 times in one video. They're nervous about it? They're addressing your asinine statements. They're the ones that are worried. You brought it up. You did 4 videos, an hour long, about these planes. You did 9 videos about MK Ultra when it came to the Macrons. They mention it in the lawsuit that you mentioned it. All of a sudden, they're the ones obsessed with MK Ultra.
So many times they're trying to give the vibe that this is so crazy. No, they are fearful. The Egyptian planes hold the key, and that is obvious even in Blake Neff's statement. But yeah, I am not a troll, okay? And people followed what felt to them as authenticity. And
that one really stung her. You can tell that troll statement is really biting. She hated that. They struck a nerve with that one. She don't like being called a troll at all. Oh, she hated that. Ooh-wee. That one bite. Good, Neff. Way to go.
Figuring out what the hell is going on with these Egyptian planes, because they're nervous about them. Okay. They're mentioned so many times. They're trying to give the vibe that this is so crazy. No, they are fearful. The Egyptian planes hold the key, and that is obvious even in Blake Neff's statement.
Obvious.
But yeah, I am not a troll. Okay. And people followed what felt to them as authenticity. And it was not you. They were not getting that from Charlie's closest friends. Why is that? They weren't getting that from Charlie's most loved pastors. Why is that? Don't blame me for the bad energy that you exuded.
Bad energy. Now we're into the spiritist world of energy. I want to hear how she finishes this segment.
Okay. Don't blame me for the fact that you didn't pass the gut check with the public. That's why you're doing this. Okay. That is why you are doing this, because your strategy failed.
So let me get this right. I'll stop her right there. I ain't gonna hear no more. This is why I won't hear no more. Listen carefully. From the get-go, what did she want? TPUSA to respond. That's what she said. She just wanted them to respond. TPUSA didn't respond. They're hiding something. That's what she said when they didn't respond. They respond. What did she say about the response? You're still hiding something. They're doing it. They're responding for this and this reason. Not at the beginning, though. She said it's a win that they responded. Now it's a problem that they respond the way they responded. You see why I said you can't win? TPUSA, listen to me carefully. If you allow this batshit postmenopausal, whatever the hell she's going through, drug-infused crazy woman on your platform, I am telling you right now, she is going to gaslight all your panel till the cows come home. No answer you give will be sufficient, and she will go back to her platform the next day, piecing up what happened on that platform to show everybody that somehow you're still hiding something. I guarantee you money. That is what she's hoping for. She never gives her sources of the insiders, nothing. She never gives any information. She knows who the killer is and won't tell anybody. She says she knows it because her source told her that they know who the killer is. But you won't divulge that, not even to the FBI. You won't even put it out there so the FBI can't say anything. No, you keep that quiet. Instead, you speculate about what other people might know when you have all the info that you could possibly. You don't even need TPUSA at this point. Like, you don't even need TPUSA to say jack shit at this point. They could go away and you'd have all the information you need because you said your informant in your own tweet has info on the assassin. Who is the assassin? Candace, who's the assassin? Why didn't you ask your people who the assassin is? And if you did ask him, why didn't you tell anybody who it is? Why not put his picture up there? You wanted to put everybody else's picture up there. You're quick to put everybody's picture, but not the person you found out was the actual assassin? That's crazy. But hey, I just want y'all to be aware. TPUSA put out what she exactly said she wanted was a response. Now at the end of the response, she's saying that they only did this to lie to you. But that's what she wanted was, yeah, okay. Hey, y'all figure it out yourself. You Candyites, figure it out yourself. Please figure it out yourself. I just want to know why you gonna believe the constant lies, even in her rebuttal. She never talked about the beekeeper people that she talked about that was responsible. She talked about that. Egypt was responsible. Now it's just a plane. Israel was responsible. Everything is linked to Egypt now, not to the Israelis. TPUSA was to blame. That's gone to the wayside now, but they are knowledgeable. But I never said they were knowledgeable. I never spoke about Erica Kirk, but you talk about Erica Kirk. You never wanted to be head of TPUSA, but you said Charlie said that you should have been one taking over. You didn't want TPUSA, but in your text messages, it says something else. Even in your own statement, I'm going to be his David. That's what you said. And in the text messages that you say belongs to him, he said he wants you to be the David when it comes to TPUSA, which means you did, in fact, want to take over TPUSA. That's still your goal. And because you can't get it, you want them gone. That's what really is happening here. You can't get it, so it must be gone. That's how vile of an individual you are. You wanted to publicize more death video of Charlie Kirk across the internet for everyone to see him die. That's what you wanted. You wanted people to see Charlie Kirk on repeat. That's sick. Then you wanted Erica to have to watch it on repeat. That's even doubly sick. Then you wanted his kids to see it. That's triple times sick. You didn't care who saw it. You were just happy that he was gone. Then you can start all your lies about him. Lies about TPUSA. Because you were jilted. You didn't get the seed of Charlie Kirk in you to have his kids. Erica did. And you had to settle for the English version. You had to settle for the limey version of Charlie Kirk. So you got the secondhand fiddle one. The dollar store general, the, Temu, Sheen version of Charlie Kirk. Not even man enough to tell you to be silent when you need to be and stop talking about other people's husbands. You couldn't even respect his children enough to shut up when the wife asked you for the sake of the children to shut up. That's how much concern you had for Charlie. The only time you took a break from talking was to save your own ass, you said. Because you were death threatened. Now you got to stay quiet. But you went hanging out where everybody could see you. That's quite a way to hide. That's quite a way to hide. I mean, if somebody was after me, I would actually go into hiding. I wouldn't go to Dollywood. I wouldn't be staying on X. I wouldn't still be talking and giving my IP address away. I wouldn't be idiotic like that. But apparently you were, so, or there wasn't really anything to fear, but you had to give the hype something good. Then you said, well, the White House hasn't replied to you. No one's talking to you because no one cares, Candace, because you're lying. You have such a big, credible death threat that you had to text an FBI agent. You couldn't submit during the regular lines. You text an agent to a corrupt individual or a corrupt entity in the FBI to help you not be killed. Okay. Oh, man. Anyway, we'll be live tomorrow. Just so you know, we'll be live again tomorrow. We have more to cover. There's more stuff to talk about. More of her own words, by the way, not ours, hers. But please make sure you check out our Bully Me Bad program. It is doing wonders. We would love to see you guys help out with that. It is one of those programs that's not easily replicated because it actually is doing good for the youth. So please consider at least a little consideration of donating to the Bully Me Be Bad program. You'll find a link in the description and on our page on YouTube. But we will be live tomorrow again, and we'll be going over in its details all the lies that Candace has told. And trust and believe, there are many. And if you think that she didn't say them, we'll use her words, not ours. If you think that's not what she meant, we will say it. And then how she said, context. Don't put the context out there to make it sound wrong. We're not going to do that to you, Candace. We want your context to stay your context. It's much more hilarious when you say what you mean and it sounds stupid. It's perfect. We love that. Anyway, thank you for staying as long as you guys did. You're much appreciated. And as Corey always says, please wake up before you go to sleep.
I stab stereotypes, the map, the math, you call it conflict, I call it context, two lenses, one text, next to flex, they clip a clip, too quick, fix the narrative, I stitch the stitch, back to the narrative, comparative, when your feed feeds a frenzy, rewind, find the friendly faces in the frenzy that they fence the way, street light testimony, shadow speaks different in bright light than in night fights, watch the white light bite, I got verbs that twist verbs, siren that reverse.